Awakening's not a light switch, it's a slow unraveling. Jung called it individuation, the lifelong process of becoming who you truly are. But awakening means loss or becoming of illusions, of roles, of comfort. You cannot stay the same and become whole. Tonight we explore the sacred discomfort of growth and the quiet freedom of stepping into your real self. As we embark upon this sacred journey, imagine standing at the edge of a grand, unexplored inner landscape. Here to awaken is to witness the disintegration of who we thought we were, as Carl Jung so profoundly suggests. It is a delicate unravelling of ancient tapestries woven from societal norms and inherited beliefs. Each thread falls away, revealing a deeper truth. Awakening is, indeed, a death process. It is the melting away of illusions, the shattering of the false personas we have worn like armour. In this unfurling of consciousness, the soul is thrust into the raw essence of being, much like the mythical phoenix rising from its ashes. As familiar constructs dissolve, an existential metamorphosis begins to unfold. We are called to dance with the unknown, leaving behind the comfortably familiar, acknowledging that this very discomfort births the essence of authenticity. It is a soft surrender to transformation, an invitation to let go of preconceived notions, to relinquish the skin of illusions that once defined our identities. This path is not one of ease, but necessity, a metaphorical rebirth, akin to the snake shedding its skin. Here old layers are discarded, exposing the vulnerabilities woven beneath societal roles. The shedding invites a re-evaluation of those beliefs once held sacred, only to find them frail and incomplete. As these illusions fall away, a new clarity emerges, illuminating the shadows we house within. This confrontation with our own shadow elements is an integral dance with the soul, where integration replaces denial, crafting a richer tapestry of self. In this awakening, we journey into the abyss of inner conflict, a realm where the old identities tremble under the weight of new awareness. Jung understood this space as a crucible for individuation, where the conscious mind engages in an intricate ballet with the unconscious. Within this chasm, emotional chaos and fragmentation become fertile ground for alchemical transformation, turning discord into harmony. We are guided to encounter our shadow, a formidable yet liberating act. In the glow of consciousness, the aspects of ourselves we once disowned are brought to light. This brave encounter heals the fractures within our psyche, allowing for a more complete self. Here, shadow and ego are not adversaries but partners in this sacred narrative of emergence. Projection, that subtle mirror, reflects back our unseen dimensions. Jung described this as an indispensable psychological process. As we awaken, these reflections become clearer, revealing the distortions that once governed our perceptions and relationships. Through gentle awareness, we reclaim these projected shadows, restoring them to our inner landscape and, by doing so, transforming our interactions with others. Inner conflict, traditionally perceived as strife, reveals itself as a catalyst for profound transformation. Jung recognized the friction these conflicts generate as essential for individuation, each tension a seed for growth. By engaging and examining these challenges, we convert energy into introspection and wisdom, paving the way for authenticity to flourish. As we emerge from the limbo of identity, we traverse a landscape of ambiguity, shedding identities shaped by societal expectations. In this liminal space, although the old fades and the new awaits its form, clarity gently arises. It invites the release of past attachments and the acceptance of what is yet to come. The dawning self is not a stagnant point, but an ever-evolving dance in the eternal rhythm of now. This journey, though initially unsettling, gifts us with heightened awareness. Jung cherished this capacity to transcend habitual patterns and unveiling truths that elevate our existence. Enhanced awareness deepens our dialogue with both inner and external worlds, enriching our perception and fostering empathy, compassion, and genuine connection. Experiencing ego death, a term often cloaked in apprehension, reveals itself as liberation. For Jung, the dissolution of ego was a step toward freeing the soul from its constructed confines. This reconfiguration allows the core truths of our existence to surface, enhancing our connection to universal consciousness. It molds us into conduits of the cosmic narrative, weaving us into the immense tapestry of life. The culmination of this awakening journey is a rebirth into authenticity, a glorious renaissance of spirit. As we cast aside false narratives, the light of our true selves emerges, aligning with the soul's ecosystem. This authenticity is an invitation to embrace life's tapestry with vigour, grace, and an open heart. It transforms individuation into a profound, ongoing awakening, a communion with our timeless essence. In the quiet tapestry of human life, we all don a mask, a carefully woven persona that dances between the shadows of our deepest selves and the world outside. This mask, moulded by cultural whispers and familial expectations, serves as both armour and entrapment. It cloaks us in a guise of acceptance, presenting a facade that conforms to the ebb and flow of societal currents. Yet within this safety net lies a paradox, a comfortable cage that stifles the raw music of our true essence. As the heaviness of this persona settles upon our soul, a quiet dissonance brews beneath its surface, whispering of a longing for authenticity. The persona exists not in opposition, but as a necessary bridge suspended over the chasm between individuality and societal belonging. However, peril arrives when we mistake this facade for our true self, allowing it to weave into the very fabric of our identity. In the labyrinth of Jungian thought, this over-identification stands as a barricade on the path to individuation, the sacred journey towards self-realization. The persona, while a skillful mask for navigating the world stage, obscures the tender hues of our inner landscape. It becomes a tapestry of inherited dreams and unrealized fears. As Jung poignantly observed, the burden of an unlived life passed from parent to child perpetuates a legacy devoid of true authenticity. Conditioning seeps in, whispering its doctrines from the cradle. It paints our persona in the colours of compliance, tinting our self-worth with the hues of external validation. As we entwine ourselves with this acceptance, we learn to prune away the wild and untamed branches of our being, nurturing an image that fits neatly into the contours of expectation. This conditioning, etched deeply into our psyche, becomes a map directing us away from our authentic selves. Illuminating these entrenched paths through introspection and courage becomes essential for those who seek the expansive horizons of true self-discovery. A world cautious of deviations from the norm feeds this narrative, embossing the persona with layers of conformity and restraint. We polish these masks, smoothing their rough edges with time and practice, unaware of the widening chasm between them and our inner truth. Yet as the shadows of dissatisfaction loom, the call grows louder, to pause, to peel away the layers of inherited conditioning, and to embrace the stories buried within our bones. This inward pilgrimage requires courage to pierce the veils of long-established norms, to pull back the threads of this tapestry, and uncover the truths knotted within. The persona, fed by the illusion of perfection, spins a tale of unattainable ideals that beckon us to strive. We dance to the tune of approval, projecting a carefully curated image, sacrificing our unique melody for the siren call of acceptance. This illusory pursuit, intricate and exhausting, pulls us into a performance devoid of authenticity, tricking us into believing in a perfection that withers under scrutiny. Yet, within this web of illusion lies a hidden truth, the acknowledgement of our vulnerabilities, the acceptance of our imperfect embrace. In this quiet act of reclamation, we discover the alchemy of turning shadows into light. By reconciling with our masked imperfections, we unlock the sacred vaults deep within, whereby our flaws transform into bridges of connection and growth. As Jung emphasized, the dance with the shadow, those hidden facets of the psyche, becomes a journey into depths unknown, unveiling our true identity across the spectrum of light and dark. Through this vulnerable confrontation, we shatter the illusion that binds us, allowing the authentic self to rise, liberated from the binds of conformity. Emerging from behind the mask, we embark on a sacred odyssey towards authenticity, a journey threaded with vulnerability and unwavering courage. It calls us back to the home of our true essence, urging us to shed the layers crafted by the world's gaze. This pilgrimage, though daunting, lays the groundwork for unmasking the truths buried beneath societal veneers. Each step towards authenticity reveals latent potentials and novel paths obscured by the persona, inviting us to honour the voice within, a voice once silenced by external expectations. Through this quiet dance, we return to the origins of self, rediscovering the forgotten landscapes of our being. It is an invitation to weave courage into our choices, to listen to the subtle murmurings of our soul, and to realign with the pulses of our untamed spirit. In choosing authenticity, we dismantle the illusions chaining us, stepping into the world with clarity and newfound strength. We become the quiet revolution, embracing the magical, the sacred depths of our identity as we breathe life back into the fragments of self once hidden. In the quiet chambers of the psyche, a hidden realm awaits, a shadowland filled with secrets and whispers that dance just beyond the reach of conscious awareness. This elusive shadow is not a malevolent entity cloaked in darkness, but rather an integral part of who we are, nestled within ourselves. It holds all the fragments of our being, traits overlooked, desires unspoken, and urges society often deems unworthy. Like a midnight mirror reflecting our truest selves, the shadow invites us to explore the depths where light and dark become one. As we navigate through life, the shadow subtly makes itself known. Its manifestations often appear as unexplained emotions or reactions. Those sharp flashes of anger, hidden fears that grip unexpectedly, or unbidden pangs of envy, they serve as breadcrumbs leading us toward our shadow's embrace. The journey of meeting the shadow requires mindfulness, a gentle unraveling of the knots binding us to our past selves. It calls for a tender curiosity as we begin to uncover the tapestry of our actions, thoughts and emotions, each woven strand revealing aspects of our hidden nature. To step into this shadow realm is to embark on a transformative voyage, moving from shadowed antagonist to trusted ally. As Carl Jung astutely remarked, enlightenment is not a quest for light alone, but a venture to become conscious of the darkness. Within this embrace, we do not conquer the shadow. Instead, we recognize its potent role. Here lies a profound alchemical change. Anger morphs into powerful determination, while fear, often paralyzing, becomes a guide toward clarity and prudence. Methods to commune with the shadow are as varied as the stories threading through mythology. Therapy offers professional guidance, yet personal practices serve equally well. Art forms, reflective journaling, or simply being in motion can creatively animate aspects of our souls. External dialogues too, with trusted companions, illuminate shadows, shedding light on aspects of ourselves otherwise overlooked. Through these conversations, the shadow invites us to a compassionate merging, unifying the disparate pieces into a coherent whole. Archetypes, those timeless symbols embedded within our psyche, play a vital role in shadow integration. They are the universal patterns running through humanity's collective veins, revealing themselves through various forms and stories. The trickster, the rebel. These figures echo within our shadows, hinting at chaos and creativity. Embracing these archetypes brings understanding, showing pathways where once there was only shadow. They offer a mirror reflecting shared humanity, guiding us beyond personal grievances to archetypal truths. In confrontation, the shadow presents its greatest guardian, fear. A gatekeeper of the unknown, fear cautions against the sweeping change that self-discovery heralds. Yet the shadow asks for bravery, a gentle approach to fears rooted in judgment, rejection, and the suffocating anxiety of inadequacy. By threading through these shadows, we slowly turn fear into a friend, reimagining it as a protective force guiding us toward liberation. At the heart of shadow work, we find the ancient practice of alchemy, a mystical transformation of inner lead into gold. In the shadows, this alchemy does its work, transforming base emotions into noble awareness, enriching our understanding. It echoes through each cycle of our lives, an ongoing dance of integration that unveils deeper resonance within ourselves. Myths and metaphors lend us timeless language to articulate these shadowy depths. The hero's journey into the underworld, the eternal dance of light and dark. These tales frame our shadow exploration, illustrating eternal truths with wondrous allure. As labyrinths guide souls through complexity toward growth, phoenixes rise from ashes, teaching rebirth through self-acceptance. Yet this journey is one of courage, a calling for acceptance of imperfections and complexities inherent within us. It is an abiding commitment to weave our shadows into the fabric of our narrative, transcending societal approval for authenticity. With each courageous step, we step into liberation, unshackling ourselves from shadow-bound existence. Through this intimacy with our shadows, we embrace our multi-dimensional nature, forming a partnership that, at last, integrates the light and dark within us. No longer bound by fear or hidden motives, we move through life authentically, harmoniously, and empathetically, experiencing life's vibrancy in its full spectrum. As the shadows dwelling within and around us whisper tales of forgotten dreams, we learn to listen deeply. Engaging with every shadow, we paint a landscape of profound beauty and grace, where each shadow becomes a cherished companion on our path to wholeness. In the dance of shadow and light, we discover a life rich in meaning, threaded with compassion, and illuminated with the quiet joy of authentic selfhood. In the delicate dance of human relationships, projection whispers its subtle influence, casting shadows over the fabric of our connections. Imagine a mirror, not one that reflects our physical appearance, but rather the uncharted depths of our inner world, cloaked in the quiet nighttime of our consciousness. Through this mirror, we cast our unknown parts onto others, often unable to recognize the projections that weave stories within our lives. Carl Jung, the sage of the unconscious, introduced us to this mysterious phenomenon. He opened our eyes to how we often attribute our hidden fears, desires, and insecurities to those around us, unknowingly spilling parts of ourselves into the world. And so we see in others what we refuse to acknowledge in ourselves, fashioning a tapestry of encounters that both divide and teach us. Beneath the surface, these projections drive the narratives of personal and cultural mythologies, echoing ancient tales where shadows danced on cave walls, mistaken for reality itself. The roots of projection reach back to the earliest theories of human nature, reverberating through the musings of philosophers and mystics alike. From Plato's shadow-bound allegories to the profound insights of Eastern teachings, the notion of seeing our reflection in the world teases us into a deeper awareness. History reveals a humanity wrestling with its perceptions, each era casting its collective fears upon others, painting portraits of us versus them in the cosmic dance of societies. Projection is born of a need to protect the fragile construct of self, a defense mechanism of the ego that shields it against the trembling discomfort of inner contradictions. In this way, it preserves a sense of coherence, allowing individuals to shift their gaze outward rather than inward, where the truth waits, cloaked and formidable. Yet, by exploring these shadowy corners, by daring to unravel the intricate weave of projections, we embark on a pilgrimage of personal growth. Such exploration becomes the key to individuation, a journey toward embracing all that we are. Within the boundless scope of human interaction, projection crafts intricate patterns, sometimes opaque and tangled. It is why personal relationships, those sacred connections we hold dear, can become clouded as projections turn beloved companions into vessels of our unresolved emotions. Couples, friends, and families become locked in a waltz of unmet needs and misunderstood intentions, dancing to the silent symphony of internal dialogues left unspoken. Yet it is here within the tenderness of these bonds that introspection promises healing. Realizing our roles in this cosmic play of perception guides us toward clarity, empathy, and understanding. It calls for us slowing down, inviting a gentle pause where reflections reveal truths hidden in plain sight. By delving into the depths of introspective practices like journaling, meditation, and therapies, individuals gather glimpses of their essence beneath the veneer of projected illusions. Through mindful engagement, relationships can transform into sacred arenas for growth and healing, leading the way to harmony. To encounter the shadow is to meet the spectre of all we have cast aside, those banished traits buried in the dark basement of our psyche. The shadow harbours not only what we fear, but virtues unspoken, talents unacknowledged, potential untapped. When examined with curiosity and compassion, these rejected parts no longer hold power over our perceptions. Integration becomes the alchemy where formerly feared aspects turn to gold, enriching the house of self with newfound strength. On a grander scale, projection carves the contour of societal landscapes. It gives rise to the barriers of prejudice and stereotypes, those vast oceans of misunderstanding fostering division. By gazing beyond these mere reflections, we venture into the realm of collective awareness, urging communities to see the shared humanity that lies beyond the mirrored walls of fear and exclusion. In this spiritual realm, projection whispers yet again, imploring us to look beyond the surface. We journey into a space where projections dissolve, leading us back to the forgotten truth of interconnectedness. Here the other becomes a sacred mirror, revealing aspects of the divine, sparking enlightenment and unity. In such a world, every interaction unfolds as a sacred teaching, inviting us to embrace transcendental understanding with open arms. To overcome projection is to embark on a voyage toward authenticity. It calls us to shed the layers of illusion, welcoming vulnerability as a companion on the quest for truth. Stepping into the light, we embrace others not as adversaries, but as reflections guiding us toward the vibrancy of the human experience. It is a journey of courage, fostering an inclusive world that blossoms through shared openness and acceptance. For the gentle seeker, to live beyond projection is to embrace a perpetual circle of mindfulness, empathy, and exploration. It is to weave relationships and worlds where understanding reigns supreme, where projections no longer veil our vision, but instead illuminate the beauty that binds all of existence. In the embrace of authenticity, we find liberation, nurturing a world filled with genuine connection and compassion, awakening the enduring spirit of humanity. In the gentle unfolding of life, there comes a moment when the weight of dreams set aside, and desire's untended whispers, like an autumn breeze, teasing the edges of consciousness awake from a slumber long and deep. This is the crisis of the false self, a profound internal reckoning born not of mere aging, but of an absence felt in the marrow, a longing for authenticity where layers of persona have obscured the heart's truest voice. Jung spoke of individuation as a pilgrimage, where each mask worn to appease the world must dissolve, and the narratives of others become silken threads we are called to leave behind, crumbling slowly to reveal a more intricate tapestry beneath. Like shadows cast upon twilight walls, the personas we wear become familiar echoes, reflections poised for the dance of approval in the grand theatre of societal expectation. The essence of self is draped in these curated veils, meant to shield yet silently corrosive in their demand for conformity. They serve their purpose, keeping us safe and bound within the scripted stories of those who came before. Yet, as cracks form in the carefully spun fabric, the bondage of pretense grows insufferable, urging a flight toward a horizon not yet seen, a realm where authenticity beckons, and the soul's gentle insistence becomes a melody, compelling and inexhaustible. Within this tender confrontation, the soul's yearning for liberation thrums against the trappings of prescribed roles and inherited moulds. The seduction of idealized identities whispers promises of belonging and fulfillment, a fleeting refuge where complexity is unwelcome. Yet these aspirational constructs anchor us in the shallow waters, obscuring the vibrant depths of our genuine self. Jung taught that these cherished archetypes, these beacons of false salvation, weave illusions rich and perilous. To awaken is to tenderly unravel the beliefs that bind, meeting head-on the contradictions that simmer beneath. As one stands at the precipice of this internal shift, the whisper of the inner self grows audible, insistently weaving lines drawn from a deeper lexicon. There's an invitation here, a moment held in sacred trust, to listen to this call amidst the cacophony of external noise. a call at once trembling with the urgency of truth and layered with gentle patience. It speaks to the heart's deepest desires, untouched by the judgment of societal echoes, inviting an alignment with these compass points that guide the soul towards spaces wild and unmarked. This quest for authenticity is not a quest of solitude, but of vivid interior recollection, an intimate exploration of the essence one has long neglected. Jung saw that this journey, though daunting, treads the path to individuation, demanding courage to shed the cloaks of illusion and embark upon a pilgrimage void of conditioned acceptance. The sanctuary of one's own authenticity, once discovered, heralds liberation, a recovery of unshackled self, poised and ready to assume its rightful place under a sky ablaze with potential. In this unveiling, one encounters the shadow that has lingered in the periphery of awareness, harbouring truths kept elusive by the conscious mind. Jung illuminated this shadow as both adversary and ally, holder of secrets barred by fear's embrace, yet overflowing with unrealised gifts, yearning to emerge from the gloom. This confrontation with the self is a dance of light and dark, calling forth the courage to embrace all that one is, entwining fragments of self once banished into an integrous whole. The desire for freedom becomes a declaration, a song rising with fervour to eclipse the muted tones of an unlived life. This longing, this magnetic pull toward authenticity, defies the false self's seductive restraint. It's a journey towards self-authorship, where the embroidery of life reflects the unique cadence of one's own evolving truth. In the process, roles are refashioned not as cages, but as canvases, alive with possibility. As the heart opens to this evolution, a new conception of belonging emerges, one not hinged on external accolades, but on profound, soulful connection. Here, in places where masks are not required, relationships based on benevolent resonance invite themselves in. It is a fellowship adorned with mutual growth and authentic understanding, a recognition that true communion thrives in the freedom to be. Out of the chrysalis of the false self, the potential for a life narrative ripples, promising depth and meaning, rendered in the vibrant hues of individual essence and singular path. Our stories, constructed with the threads gleaned from introspection and shadow's embrace, emerge as symphonies of true becoming, resounding with life's intricate potential. Jung reminds us, meaning is the hearth at which we warm ourselves, the catalyst for spiritual unfolding, inviting us to transcend the mere act of living into the realm of celebration. The odyssey from false self to authentic wholeness is both a testament to the courage of introspection and a tribute to the soul's enduring resilience. An eternal journey where the heart's sacred truth finds liberation and joyous expression woven into the very fabric of being. Individuation is not the search for a polished self to display for the world's validation. It is a subtle dance of recognizing the depth within, a tapestry woven with strands of light and shadow. In this realm, the chase for endless achievement dissolves into the still waters of introspection. Individuation challenges us to trace the path inward, where our hidden hopes and forsaken fears intertwine. Here, beyond the facades of success, lies an awakening much deeper than self-improvement. It whispers of becoming whole, not through becoming better, but through embracing every fragment we are composed of, even those relegated to shadow. Each moment of individuation invites us to shift away from perfection, that false idol which demands the exile of our darker selves. Instead, It beckons us to embrace the blemishes as integral, reflecting Jung's wisdom that growth springs not from erasing imperfections, but from harmonizing them. This acceptance, this welcoming of the shadow, is a call to courage. It opens a gateway to integrate facets we often fear, those we would rather silence. For within the dance of light and shadow, in the intimate waltz of duality, we find a mirrored truth that nurtures empathy, both for ourselves and the world. In our quest for wholeness, vulnerability becomes both the journey and the guide. It is not weakness but profound strength, the courage to unfold the layers the ego has carefully cloaked, to allow ourselves to be seen as we truly are, flawed and magnificent, is to invite honest connection with ourselves and others. This transformative exposure is the soil in which authentic relationships take root, shattering the walls we've constructed in pursuit of invulnerability. It is through vulnerability that we become agents in our healing, turning experiences once imbued with shame into platforms for growth. Life is an intricate canvas of dualities, where joy dances with sorrow, and love tiptoes alongside fear. Individuation bids us to navigate this dance, recognizing that these seemingly opposing elements are inextricably linked. Jung invites us to perceive these polarities not as conflicts, but as forces that exist in complementarity. Within each duality, we discover the wisdom to grow and the opportunity to explore the soul's narrative. Not as a battlefield, but as a sacred space where diverse energies converge to reveal their mysteries. Beyond the self lies an interconnected tapestry, woven into the collective unconscious, a deep reservoir of ancestral wisdom shared by all. As we delve into individuation, we encounter the broader spectrum of humanity's shared experience, fostering a unity that transcends the solitary self. Individuation expands beyond the confines of personal growth, resonating with the collective evolution of our shared human spirit. It is a reminder that our journeys contribute to a larger cosmic symphony, a timeless narrative that binds us all. The journey of individuation unfolds with the acceptance of change as the unwavering constant of existence. In this ever-evolving process, we surrender to life's rhythm, entrusting it to guide us toward deeper self-discovery. Jung likened this to alchemy, where the raw elements of our psyche transform into something more refined and whole. Through acceptance, we learn to welcome transformation's fickle nature with grace, coaxing resilience and adaptability from its embrace. In the gentle art of letting go, we discover the tender potential for growth within life's unpredictability. Symbols offer gateways to realms beyond conscious comprehension, serving as bridges to the language of the unconscious. In the mind's labyrinth, they flash like distant beacons, illuminating paths forgotten by the rational. Jung illuminated how these symbols, appearing in dreams, myths, and archetypal imagery, convey wisdom that transcends literal interpretation. Engaging with these enigmatic messages allows us to navigate the mysterious depths of our inner worlds, embracing the soul's creative nature in the journey toward a self-realization. Narratives shape our understanding of self and world, weaving us through the vast mythos of human experience. Individuation intertwines with the stories we tell ourselves, offering frameworks for insight and understanding. Through myths, rich with Jungian archetypes, we recognize recurring patterns that bind our personal journeys to the collective human drama. Individuation calls us to author our narratives consciously, to revisit inherited scripts and breathe authenticity into the stories we tell. transcending limiting tales to embrace fluid expressions more aligned with our true nature. Rituals ground us in the sacred continuity of life, providing portals for reflection amid the cacophony of existence. They offer orchestrated pauses where inner exploration unfolds with deliberate grace. In the serene embrace of ritual, individuation unfurls as a heartbeat within life's ceaseless rhythm. In these moments of serene introspection, we engage in practices that centre us: journaling, meditation, stillness, each heartbeat a tether anchoring us in the eternal dance of becoming whole. As we traverse the landscape of self-awareness and clarity, these rituals illuminate our path, guiding us toward the sacred tapestry woven within. Individuation beckons us on an eternal journey, a sacred pilgrimage of self-discovery. As the horizon stretches forward, it invites us to embrace the unfolding potential of human existence. With each step, new insights blossom like tender buds upon the path. Jung reminds us that this journey is an ever-renewing cycle, nourishing our spirit with curiosity and wonderment. In this dance of infinite exploration, we unravel layers of the unknown, letting resilience and courage paint our narrative. As we journey toward wholeness, we cherish the mystery and beauty of our cosmic dance, ever evolving as truer expressions of our authentic selves. In the quiet sanctuary of sleep, where reality slips into the gentle embrace of dreams, Carl Jung saw a profound dialogue unfolding, one that whispered from the depths of the soul. In these sacred moments, dreams emerge, draped in veils of symbolism and abstraction, transcending the mundane boundaries of waking life. Each dream, a delicately crafted letter from the unconscious, beckons us to explore the hidden corners of our psyche, where truths and conflicts lie dormant. To heed the language of dreams is to approach them with an open heart, as one does a mysterious dialect full of rich metaphors and allegories. These nocturnal visions become mirrors, reflecting emotions and desires that remain unresolved by daylight, urging us to relish the subtle intricacies they offer. As we drift deeper into the realm of slumber, the shadow often takes centre stage in our dreams. Jungian psychology teaches us that this shadow embodies the forgotten and unacknowledged fragments of our being. While the sun illuminates our conscious lives, the night invites these shadowy figures to dance in our dreams, revealing themselves in forms that might unsettle or intrigue. These mysterious encounters are not meant to frighten, but to call our attention to the hidden aspects of ourselves, yearning for compassion and integration. Embracing the shadow within dreams becomes a sacred invitation to recognize and reconcile with parts of our psyche that contradict our perceived self-image. This transformative dialogue, though requiring courage, leads to healing and a deeper, more honest connection with the entirety of our being. Within the woven tapestry of our dreams, another force is at play. The archetypes, those ancient symbols that lie in the collective unconscious. Jung described these archetypes as universal motifs, timeless in their presence and shared across cultures and epochs. As we sleep, they appear as wise guides or tricksters, heroes or elemental forces, each carrying echoes of humanity's shared journey. These archetypal symbols invite us to venture beyond personal confines and engage in a dialogue with the mythic and eternal elements of our psyche. Interpreting these symbols draws us into an exploration of the vast landscape of human unconsciousness, revealing patterns and pathways that guide our growth and transformation. They serve as bridges, linking personal experiences with collective wisdom and guiding us toward deeper self-integration. Amidst these dream-laden journeys, there lies a tender promise of healing. Dreams, with their gentle persistence, nudge us to pay attention to what we might overlook in our daily lives. Through their symbolic language, they illuminate repressed emotions and unmet needs, offering a pathway to inner reconciliation and restoration. This journey is deeply personal. As we engage with the imagery and symbols that arise in our dreams, translating them into insights that inform our waking existence. By embracing these nocturnal messages, we nurture a continuous dialogue with our soul, fostering inner harmony and unveiling the potential for profound healing. The landscape of dreams is rich with emotions, acting as a theatrical space where fear, wonder, and longing blend seamlessly. These emotional tapestries are not to be feared or dismissed, but embraced as the soul's nightly expression. By facing the emotional ebbs and flows within dreams, we delve into layers of our psyche often buried during wakefulness. This exploration nurtures greater emotional awareness and resilience, inviting us to reflect upon feelings and perceptions that shape our waking lives. Through this lens, dreams become guides to understanding our emotional landscape, offering tools for personal growth and transformation. In the realm of dreams, the psyche weaves stories that transcend rational thought, casting familiar elements into fantastical narratives. These stories, rich with symbolic dramas, provide windows into the intricate, personal, and collective mythologies that shape us. To interpret them requires a gentle openness to the multifaceted language of the psyche, where each dream piece reveals insights into the larger mosaic of our unfolding self. This act of embracing dreams as soul-led narratives unveils the artistry of the psyche, leading us towards deeper consciousness and unity. Nightmares, with their unsettling intensity, emerge as harbingers of unresolved inner conflict. Though distressing, they serve a critical purpose, functioning as psychic alarm systems urging us to address concealed fears and anxieties. These trials of the night challenge us to decode their dark symbolism, turning fear into opportunities for growth and healing. By confronting nightmares, we engage with truths demanding recognition, empowering us to transform distress into self-awareness and eventual harmony. Dream journaling serves as a meaningful dialogue with our subconscious, offering a ritual of reflection and exploration. As we capture and analyse our dreams, we honour them as significant components of our psychological landscape, allowing insights to permeate our waking world. This cherished practice fosters a continuous interaction with our inner life, enriching our understanding and supporting our journey towards self-awareness. Finally, dreams possess a dazzling capacity to inspire creativity and innovation. They become allies for artists and thinkers, unshackled by the constraints of logic, and offer realms where the impossible blooms into possibility. By harnessing this creative potential, dreams launch us into new territories of expression, fostering personal and cultural innovation. Thus, they become guiding lights, illuminating pathways to boundless creativity and visionary ideas. In embracing dreams as our companions on the path to wholeness, we undertake the journey of integration, where disparate facets of the self converge into harmony. Dreams as gentle guides bridge conscious and unconscious, revealing the roadmap to our true essence. As we engage in this dance with the soul, we move closer to realizing our unique potential, embracing the fullness of our human experience. In the quiet depths of our being, the ego whispers tales of power and dominion. Born of early shadows, it shapes itself through personal history, the silent expectations of society, and the unvoiced rules of culture. It stands guard, a protector of identity, crafting walls of stone between self and other. It strives to bring order, maintaining the fragile equilibrium of who we believe we are. Yet beneath its steadfast watch, the soul yearns for liberation. Like a sentinel fixed in its vigil, the ego fears the winds of change, mistaking surrender for defeat. Its illusions of control weave a tapestry of certainty, a barrier against life's unpredictable dance. It clings tightly to the familiar, constructing an existence of patterns and scripts, blind to the vast landscape of human experience that lies just beyond its reach. It is here, in the delicate territory of uncertainty, that the soul waits, poised to breathe the air of freedom beyond the ego's grasp. Imprisoned in chains of its own making, the ego seeks refuge in the promise of control. It demands answers as solid as stone, and paths as predictable as the sun's passage through the sky. Yet life, with its capricious mysteries, weaves a story far beyond the pages of certainty. Within the unknown lie the seeds of authenticity, moments unfolding like petals in the wind, each one an invitation to dance with the chaos. To surrender is to embrace the beauty of the unresolved, to hold space for the stories yet untold. It is to acknowledge the limited vision of the self, to release the clenched fist and open it gently to the mysteries of life. When we let go of the ego's relentless pursuit of order, we make room for the soul to step forward, guiding us with whispers of ancient wisdom and intuitive grace. In this surrender, we discover a profound peace, built not on foundations of certainty, but on the acceptance of life's wondrous unpredictability. This journey into surrender is not a single leap, but a gentle series of steps, each one a moment of mindful choice. It is a courageous exploration, a gradual softening of the ego's rigid boundaries, like the melting edge of ice against the warmth of the sun. In stillness and meditation, we find the sanctuary, where the ceaseless chatter of the ego quiets, revealing the transient nature of thoughts and emotions that pass like clouds across a vast sky. Each moment of mindfulness offers a chance to observe the ego's dance without becoming ensnared by it, to touch the essence that lies beyond labels and defences. The ego, a creature of habit, fears the currents of change that threaten its carefully constructed world. It clings to the safety of the known, resisting transformation with all its might. Yet, as we lean into change with tenderness and curiosity, we begin to unravel the knots of resistance that bind us. In embracing vulnerability, we step into the heart of authenticity. To be vulnerable is not to be weak, but to be courageous enough to be seen as we truly are, free of pretense. By trusting in the process of becoming and releasing our grasp on control, we invite the dance between will and surrender. The ego may fear that letting go means abandoning desire, but true surrender is a harmonious blending of intention and acceptance. It is to set sail with a steadfast heart, while trusting the winds to guide us toward unknown shores. This delicate balance births a life that is awake to the soul's wisdom. As we relinquish the ego's need for external validation, we step into the gentle embrace of self-love and empowerment. We turn inward, touching the intrinsic value that requires no applause to flourish. Herein lies the profound realization that we are worthy, regardless of external eyes. Forgiveness too plays a vital role in this sacred journey, freeing us from the burdens of the past and opening the gates to peace and compassion. In this quiet, reverent exploration, the ego begins to surrender its hold, and the soul rises to speak. Its language is gentle, flowing with intuition and synchronicity, guiding us toward a tapestry of life woven with meaning and connection. As we listen to this wisdom, we find ourselves standing in a place untouched by fear, embracing the wholeness that is our true inheritance. Here, the dance of the human spirit unfolds, inviting us to walk boldly into the boundless realm of self-discovery, healing, and transformation. In the quiet depths of our existence lies transformation, a journey often shrouded in both pain and sacred grace. Imagine stepping into a labyrinth, an ancient maze where each twist and turn mirrors the intricacies of the soul. This is not a passage for the faint-hearted. It requires courage to traverse the shadows and embrace the light within. Here in this sacred space, pain does not merely exist to be endured, but serves as a companion and guide, whispering truths that live beyond the surface. Transformation draws parallel to a rite of passage, a ceremonial crossing from ignorance to understanding, from the cocoon of innocence to the wings of wisdom. It demands a relinquishing of comfort and a willingness to step into the unknown. This passage can be likened to a purifying fire, one that challenges the illusions of safety crafted by the ego, leaving only the raw essence of self to emerge into the light. At the heart of this transformative journey lies sacrifice, the ancient art of letting go. It is a sacred act of releasing attachments to beliefs, identities, and relationships that no longer serve the soul's evolution. The act of surrendering, though rife with loss, is laden with the promise of renewal. In this gentle surrender lies the transformative power of alchemy, changing the leaden weight of ego into the gold of enlightenment. Pain, in its sacred wisdom, acts as an illuminator, casting light on the hidden recesses of our being. It beckons us to confront the unresolved, the shadows that linger in forgotten corners of the psyche. Jung teaches us that pain, if given space to breathe, can become an ally, guiding us toward profound self-awareness and spiritual growth. This sacred dance with discomfort unravels the shackles of complacency, opening the door to empathy and compassion, gifts earned through the lived experience of pain. In this labyrinth of transformation, one must also face the inner demons, those manifestations of fear and negativity shadowing our unconscious. This confrontation is not an act of battle, but of reconciliation. By bringing these fragments of the self into the light, we strip them of their power, weaving them back into the whole of our being. It is through this brave acknowledgement that healing arises, nurturing a profound sense of self-acceptance and wholeness. Transformation is an intimate dance, one that requires the integration of both the light and the shadow. Jung described this sacred union as necessary for individuation, a merging of dualities that forms a cohesive self. As the soul undertakes this dance, resistance is met with gentle insistence, urging a dismantling of the false self, allowing authenticity to appear like dawn breaking over a shadowed landscape. Vulnerability becomes the grounding thread weaving through this tapestry of change. To transform is to stand naked before the world, acknowledging the tender imperfections that make us beautifully human. In vulnerability, there is a strength that binds us to others, fostering connection through shared experience. This openness, though fraught with risk, invites trust and nurtures authentic bonds that transcend the superficial facades of everyday interaction. And thus we enter the alchemy of the soul, a sacred process of distillation where impurities are burned away in the fire of self-awareness. Here, the essence of who we are, unrecognised by the superficial self, is revealed in its full glory. This transformation, akin to ancient sorcery, marries suffering with wisdom, turning base experiences into divine insights. As the journey unfolds, there is a communion with the sacred, an awakening to the universal threads that connect us to the larger fabric of existence. Pain, in its paradoxical manner, offers a portal to this sacredness, yielding insights into the tapestry of life itself. It is both anchor and compass, gently steering us back to our place within the grand design of the cosmos. Thus emerges wholeness, not as a trophy of perfection, but as a harmonious balance of the self. This wholeness is not an endpoint, but a serene alignment that permeates every subsequent step along life's path. It is within this radiance that the individual finds peace and unity, both inwardly and outwardly. The journey, while fraught with the shadows of pain, ultimately illuminates the path to truth. Within this sacred pilgrimage to self, there blooms a beauty that emanates from the core, transforming every scar into a testament of the sacred journey undertaken. And in embracing this transformative light, we find that the labyrinth, though daunting, holds the map to the soul, a journey both painful and wondrously sacred. In the quiet heart of personal growth, one often finds an unexpected solitude. Here, growth is not the gentle, clear ascent we might envision, but a deep dive into shadows, unearthing parts unknown and forgotten. It is a journey where the self, once a familiar reflection, transforms like a river reshaping its course, affecting everything it touches, including the fabric of friendships. Often these bonds, once a comfort through the tides of life, find themselves tested and sometimes severed as you awaken to the deeper truth of your being. Awakening is a sacred unveiling. The layers of old identities and obligations peel away, and with them, the illusions that once held certain friendships together. As Carl Jung contemplated, this is individuation, a gradual weaving of the conscious self with the unconscious, revealing and embracing all that you are. This alchemy of becoming may push some relationships to dissolve, leaving only those which resonate with your true self. Relationships may falter when grounded upon dormant dreams and unexamined agreements, where roles dictated who each person should be. The path to authenticity demands these unseen contracts be honoured or released. With growth comes a questioning of friendship, a tapestry often woven with shared stories and heartfelt habits, yet interspersed with assumptions and unspoken accommodations. As you pull at these threads, a revelation unfurls. Some ties form not from genuine connection, but through the acceptability of shared illusions. Like mist dissipating with the morning light, the facade lifts, unveiling truths that challenge the essence of past connections. This awakening can be disconcerting, as reality asks, will you hold on to what was, or embrace the discomfort of birthing relationships anew? In this shedding, old friends may feel like echoes from another lifetime. The axis shifts from clinging to outdated patterns to nurturing relationships where freedom and authenticity dance hand in hand. This metamorphosis invites a renegotiation of terms, where rigid expectations yield to organic exchanges, evolving alongside your transformed self. Such rebirth in social bonds emphasizes clarity over comfort, revealing if they can survive the light of truth. Yet the solitude that follows is not a barren wasteland. but a fertile field for introspection. It creates space for the whispers of your inner world, guiding you towards a life more attuned to your soul's symphony. Isolation is not a void, but an invitation to meet yourself, complete, without the crutch of external validation. Isolation becomes sacred, a place where you realign with your deepest intentions, setting the foundation for meaningful encounters that will eventually enrich your narrative. And although this solitude can birth an acute longing for what was once familiar, it is during these times of quiet reflection that deeper connections can be imagined, ones that transcend remedial exchanges, ones that hold space for every inch of your being, as you are and will become. Authentic relationships stand not in need but in mutual respect, a haven where truth grows in collaboration with vulnerability and respect. The bedrock of this emergence is self-worth, found not in the eyes of others, but within, where an unshakable knowing rests. From this internal sanctuary, relationships are pursued not from dependency, but from heartfelt connection, a testament to the strength of your integrity. Freed from the need to seek approval, you choose who enters your sphere of intimacy, aligned with those who nurture and are nurtured by your presence. Here, emotional intelligence serves as both a tool and an ally, guiding you through the labyrinth of realigned social landscapes. As the tides of relationships flow and ebb in your new awareness, emotions dance in the illumination of self-awareness and regulation. Empathy, that tender bridge, links awakened souls in a web of shared understanding, encouraging communication grounded in openness and mutual growth. Memories of friendships past linger like gentle spectres, not to haunt but to remind. These echoes offer lessons, cherished glimpses into roles played and illusions once held. Recontextualizing these memories transforms them into sacred chapters of your own evolution, leaving gratitude and release in their wake. They are reminders of patterns learned and outgrown, casting light on paths yet to tread with more authenticity. Releasing once cherished ties can be a ceremony of both sorrow and liberation. In letting go, the pain speaks to the depth of what once was. To transcend is to recognise the impermanent cycles of life's intricate web, each goodbye a salutation to new beginnings. This surrender is a testament to your courage, allowing space for the novel and the beautiful to enter. In awakening, you reach towards a wholeness undisturbed by societal constructs and transient measures of value. It's a pilgrimage inward, integrating all fragments of your being, light and shadow, flaw and wonder. This transformation does not isolate, but instead reveals the unity in life's kaleidoscope, lining every step with purpose and meaning. As you close this chapter, finding yourself adrift yet anchored, remember that each journey towards self is a contribution to the mosaic of humanity's collective awakening. Embrace this refining fire. May it lead you to a realm where your soul resonates in harmony with all that is genuinely you. And as this journey continues, remember to support this channel. Like, subscribe, and help us explore these endless depths together.